Young Mohamad, Sivanesan, State EXCO, and Chairman, State Health and Human Resources Committee. Young Maisarah, Ahmad, CEO Institute Ridzuan, representing YAD Besar today. Mr. Jean-François Chavériat, Chairman, Perak MICCI. Dr. Adib, Vincent, Tung, Abdullah, Chairman, Perak Academy. Dato, Senior Executive Director of KSI. Yeoh, and Seri, Yeoh, Dato, and Secretary Dr. Dato, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera. Good morning and welcome to the Perak Makmur Summit, jointly organized by KSI, MICCI, and Perak Academy. We wish to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this summit, and in particular to Young Mohamad, Sivanesan, and Dr. Maisarah, representing the Besar, for being with us here this morning. Although I am not from Perak, in my younger days, I spent several years in 3 towns in Perak, where my father was serving in the government medical services and in the various hospitals in Ipoh and Ridzuan. So I went to school in Ridzuan in Seri days, and then I went to Taipei, I was at St. George's, and for a very brief period of just 2 months in St. Michael's here as well. So I had some exposure to Perak in the younger days, and I'm delighted to be able to be with you all here again. The summit today will discuss key challenges facing Perak in the new post-pandemic economic recovery, as well as identify opportunities and prospects for Perak in the years ahead. Perak has a great potential. It was one of the richest states in Malaysia and the world's epicenter of the tin mining industry in the past. Perak, I believe, can regain its past glory by focusing on the future economy that will be based on digital and green technology, as well as scaling up your efforts in attracting tourists to the country, as well as the modernization of the agricultural sector in Perak. Perak is also a leading education hub, with several leading universities located in the state: the University of Petronas, the Quest International University, Oxy, Buddha, among others. Hence, developing the state's human capital and with training and reskilling the workforce can make Perak attractive for investors. Our Perak MICCI chairman has been operating a factory here in Perak since 1996, close to 30 years, one of the earliest investors here in Perak. Going forward, I believe Perak needs to focus on the 3 I's for its competitive advantage. And these 3 I's are information technology, infrastructure development, and innovation. We hope the summit today can discuss some of these critical challenges and the vast opportunities ahead for the state. And we hope that the sharing of ideas, interchange of knowledge and experiences by the speakers today will benefit all of our participants here. I wish to thank the many distinguished speakers for taking time out of busy schedule to be with us today. A big thank you to our sponsor, the Group, and to all the other co-organizers, Perak Academy and Perak MICCI, for the support of today's event. Sekian, terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Councillor Yeoh, for your welcome speech, and the honorary member of Perak, I'm sure since you've been in this state for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, we now like to invite the Chairperson of the Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Perak, Mr. Jean-François Chavériat, to give his welcome speech.
Good morning, everybody. So I make it simple for addressing because we have so many people here. So ladies and gentlemen, all the speakers, and who attend this summit. So let me welcome you on behalf of the MICCI for this Perak Makmur summit. MICCI is glad to be a co-organizer for this event. The prosperity of our Perak state remain at the center of our focus in these challenging times. We feel very Perakians. I'm not from Perak myself, but as Vincent said, we feel very attached to this place. This summit takes place after over 2 years of what I would qualify as a very topsy-turvy time for the local economy. We went through a lot lately. In a short period of time, the government bodies and actors of the economy were confronted with something we never thought we would experience. Starting in March 2020 with the health crisis, we were suddenly confronted to SOPs. We had to wear masks. We had to wait for the evening address of our ministers, do's and don'ts. School, factories, offices had to close down for lockdowns. Home office had to be scaled up at unprecedented speed. Then we discovered how important was the digital economy. The availability of internet was the key. A generation of students had to be taught online, staying home and studying, which had, I would say, immense consequence for the learning skill. We then had a shipping crisis. We relied on our base a lot of this time to the availability of everything. Suddenly, we had lead times going for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. In Germany, if you would like to order a car, maybe 12 months, 12, 14 months. RAM memory for computer was simply not available. Shipping costs exploded by 4 to 5. If you take a containers to America, instead of paying maybe 3,000 US dollar, you pay 12, 14,000 US dollar. We suddenly discovered that common goods, flour, oil, toilet paper in Europe, eggs were in short supply, raw materials critical to some industries were not available, key components, machine parts were short on the markets. We suddenly, as I said, get used to wear masks, keep distance, not visit our friends, avoid big social events, barcode for our health status, my goodness. I had to spend like 130 days in quarantines, so I think everybody was really confronted to something unthinkable before. On the 24th of February last year, we also experienced a setup of a new war in Ukraine. By the time I speak now, we don't know the consequence. It might be also a little bit of a game changer for us in Europe, I must say. This is something very important. I was explaining to Dato this morning. As a young boy, I grew under the threat of a war. I had nightmares because we said, oh, the Russians will be in Paris within 3 days. So I hope we don't turn into something new which is out of control. So, to cut it short, after a long period of business growth, business as usual, after a long period of stability, after a long period of certainty, where rules were clear, it seems we might have entered a new time, a new era. Time of change. Time where established rules, established mechanisms, established concepts, and understanding are redefined. Our economies and our society, our relations with the work, the world, and the environment is changing. Our political world is also redefining itself. And our younger generations, we have people involved in education, are also challenging our rules. We may have reached a crossroads where new rules might be rewritten for trade and manufacturing globally, but also locally. So I come from manufacturing for me, that's a reality. The old success recipes we used to have in the past maybe might be challenged and need to be rewritten. This period of uncertainty and disruptions could be perceived as dangerous by some. We might feel fear, anxiety, although we see this as a value. The program of today addresses key changes and mega trends that emerge for this decade. So yes, we need framework, governance, resources, we need to invest in our infrastructure, educations will play key roles for forming the generations of tomorrow. I see a lot of white hairs where I also belong to this. I have the chance not to have too many white hairs, but our children, younger generations need to take over, so we need to prepare for the futures. As always, in a changing world, we need some sort of orientations and security. We need a plan, we need leadership. In this context, the Perak Makmur Summit and the gathering of leading experts, industry leaders, intellectuals, and government officials from the states of Perak, but also from Malaysia, offer us a fantastic opportunity to discuss key points, generate feedback and ideas to develop the solutions and perspective for all of us, and hopefully to help us grow again as we would like to have in Perak. So yes, MICCI is glad to co-organize with KSI and Perak Academy this today's meet. We are very grateful for this event. Indeed, it's a brilliant idea because yes, we would like to grow again. We feel very Perakian and we think it's the right time. Throughout its long history, the Chamber was formed in 1837 and our Ipoh branch in 1911. MICCI would like to serve as a catalyst to promote improvements for the business and investment environments for its members in Perak, but of course also in Malaysia. We would like to be championing domestic international trade and investments here. We represent a wide community of investors involved in service and manufacturing. We would like to be advising and assisting members in their problem solving within our branch in Perak, but also, of course, in 5 other branches in Malaysia. We would like to be improving competitive advantage for our members to promote also best ethical business practice. Without ethics, without clear business, I believe there is no real economic system. We would like to keep business in touch with economic developments, prospective for local and global opportunities. And of course, we would like to enhance business networking. So MICCI has always taken active roles in participations in government advocacy dialogues and in work groups. At higher level, we are very close to MICCI, MOF, EPU, MIDA, MATRADE, MDTC, and of course, local authorities here. We would like to also intercede on behalf of our members to resolve immediate problems that our members would have. So, coming to the close, we would like to bring together the business community and the government authorities. And again, today is a good opportunity to work on that. We would like to work in a constructive way, in a win-win and open relationship. So we hope today is also open discussions. This is very important. We believe if our business is doing well, the state is doing well. If the state is doing well, our business is doing well. Investors, our members, are coming from different horizons. So at MICCI, we would like also to promote, of course, FDI to attract people from overseas. But I think we also should not forget local champions that we have with KL Kepong, the local champions. We have, my company is maybe a local champions, but international company. We have a lot of local companies which invest heavily in the States, and we should support this opportunity. So, as I said earlier, the Perak Makmur Summit comes at the right time, and it is a perfect illustration of what we would like to promote. We touch here at fundamental topics. We talk about economy, we talk about education, we talk about governance, and we talk about digital transformations, which is absolutely what we need here to grow. So I look also forward to the generations of new ideas, of new concepts that will emerge from this dialogue for our cherished states of Perak, so that we can realize our strategic plan for 2030. Whether it's 2030 or it takes a little bit more time, we have to be realistic also. I think we are in an ongoing process. What is important is not to reach the goal, is to be on the way to our goal. And that's important that again, after this long stop we had over the last 2 years, we again mobilize our potential and progress. I'm not from Perak, obviously, you can see from my horrible French accent. Sorry for that. But I believe, I'm convinced, like 30 years ago, when I set up this place for our factory, Perak has great potential. We have demonstrated this in our history. We have the ability to grow. I can see here a lot of interest for our industrial platform, a lot of interest for our tourism. I have a lot of friends and a very close partner here, and I can feel the vibrant atmosphere in Ipoh and in Perak. We have a strong cultural heritage, we have land, we have great people, we have good workforce and plenty of talented entrepreneurs, good infrastructures that need also to be further developed. And I think that's the topic today. This forms a good basis for foundations of Perak, to be again a rising star. I think in the 80s we were a rising star. So hopefully a star can be 2 times a star. But more needs to be done if Perak wants to remain on the investor roadmap in these challenging and ever-changing environments. If we want to flourish in Malaysia and if we want to flourish in the APA area. So thank you all of you. Thank you to all the brilliant speakers, the moderators, for coming and attending this summit. And I look forward to all your things. And hopefully everybody has a little bit of time to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jean-François for Chavériat, for giving us your welcome speech on turbulent change for the global economy and the greater need for cooperation, which is what MICCI offers. Merci. Next, we would like to invite Dr. Adib Vincent Tung bin Abdullah, Chairman of the Perak Academy, to give his welcome speech. Dr. Adib.
Yang berbahagia, Dr. Maisarah, Ahmad, Chief Executive Officer of Institut Darul Ridzuan, representing Yang Amat Berhormat Menteri Besar of Perak, Yang Berhormat Tuan Sivanesan, Achalingam, Perak State Executive Councillor and Committee Chairman of Health, Human Resources and Indian Community Affairs, Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Michael Yeoh from KSI, then my friend Son, the Chairpersons of Malaysian International Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MICCI, Yang Berhormat Tan Sri, Dato, Yang Berusaha Heads of Government Departments and Agencies, then my KSI colleagues, and also EXCO members of MICCI Perak, and governors, fellows, members of Perak Academy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera and a very good morning to everyone present at this seminar. On behalf of Perak Academy, I would like to welcome all of you to the Perak Makmur Summit. It is indeed of great personal joy that we can host this event to discuss matters concerning our beloved state, Perak Darul Ridzuan. My humble and sincere appreciation, of course, is directed to KSI and MICCI for their partnerships in organizing this event. While most of us here are no stranger to each other, it is not often that we are gathered in the same room on the same day to discuss state-centric development issues. Gatherings such as this provide us an opportunity to share ideas and experience of what can be done to drive our state forward. I believe there will be fruitful discussions coming out of today's summit, and I thank both the speakers and the participants for your support. Allow me to echo the sentiments of my two colleagues who spoke earlier than me regarding the potential of Perak as an upcoming major economy, perhaps in the likes of Penang and Selangor, of course, provided right ingredients and conditions are in place. For us to realize this, first requires a vision. I recall when the Perak Menteri Besar Yang Amat Berhormat Dato Seri Saarani Mohamad launched Perak Sejahtera 2030 in the middle of last year, and who again reaffirmed his commitment to his initiative earlier this year by implementing plans to transform Perak into an industrially driven state. One of his plans is to turn Tanjung Malim into an automobile hub, which is expected to bring in an investment of 32 billion ringgit. When Proton moved more of its production functions from Shah Alam in Selangor over to Tanjung Malim in the near future. This move will also undoubtedly bring positive economic spillover effects to neighboring districts. It is indeed a fine example of economic development for Perak. And with other points of economic development expressed by my two learned colleagues earlier, I am sure that Perak Sejahtera 2030 will be thoroughly covered in the following address by the Most Honorable Menteri Besar. I am confident that the MB's visions of Perak Makmur Rakyat Sejahtera will go beyond economic expansion and indicators, as I will certainly bring prosperity. It will certainly bring prosperity, security, and happiness to the people of Perak when successfully implemented. Ladies and gentlemen, economic prosperity is meaningless if the living standard or the work-life balance is absent. In Perak, not only do we have hard-working, committed people and rich natural resources, we also have a rich heritage, culture, and environment that can produce a great living. With a Gini coefficient of 0.373, Perak is indeed one of the better states for people to reside in. Undoubtedly, the Perak state houses several universities, colleges, polytechnics, and vocational schools, and some of these higher learning institutions are among the best in the country. In other words, due to the prominent educational quality, the state remains an ideal place for nurturing and producing able and skilled workforce. I also passionately believe that Perak serves the best assortment of tasty, if not exotic, cuisines in the country. Tasty food creates happy and satisfied people, which in turn generates better productivity. Don't you agree? Although we have a comfortable pace of life and strong sense of community, the Perak state is challenged with dilemmas, just like other states. Currently, there is a population of 2.6 million residing throughout the 12 districts, together with a couple of 100,000 more living and working in other states, and especially in Singapore, in the pursuit of better careers and wealth. The Perakian diaspora is exactly created by lack of jobs, but by the absence of high-paying professions to keep Perakians staying in the state. Although we are proud that many Perakians have become successful in various fields elsewhere, I strongly felt a sense of regret due to the brain drain suffered by the state. This type of migration is unhealthy and is not sustainable. And a new strategy is needed to put in place to make Perak more competitive, as in Selangor, Penang, and Johor, and also throughout the region. To many of us here, it is not deniable that Perak has been quite successful in its manufacturing and tourism industries. There is plenty of room for improvement in these fields, in the fields of agriculture, arts, healthcare, finance, and education. To realize these goals, incentives are needed to encourage initial growth. I certainly hope the federal and the state governments will work concertedly together to introduce more and better plans as well as incentives, especially for the state of Perak. Initiatives like Bayan Lepas, Free Industrial Zone in Penang, Kulim High Park in Kedah, Edu City in Johor, and Summer Laju in Sarawak are some of the examples we can draw from as models for a new Perak-based initiative. This also requires a rethinking of the entire ecosystem surrounding major development push. My aspiration and hope for the future is that there will be sufficient opportunities in various locations in every town throughout Perak to allow our young to remain and build their careers where they are born. To achieve this, the Perak and private sectors, the public and private sectors must come together in events such as this to convey some of their thoughts and hash new ideas on how to push a wholesome Perak Sejahtera agenda forward. I look forward to the meaningful and productive sessions ahead, with hopes that these inputs and outputs will lead to positive changes for our beloved state. In conclusion, allow me, on behalf of the joint organizers, to welcome the panels of speakers and my fellow colleagues for taking part in this important event. I am sure that all of you will feel enriched with knowledge after the completion of this event. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the participants to this summit and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. Sekian, terima kasih, and thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adib, for your welcome address and pointing out Perak's potential, especially with its very talented and highly skilled workforce. As a person who married a girl from Ipoh, I guess I cannot disagree. By the way, I got a very urgent announcement. Can the owner of the vehicle number LG 9666 of a Mitsubishi Expander, white Mitsubishi Expander, please remove the vehicle. It's blocking another car. Right. So our next speaker will be presenting the summit's special address and has taken great effort and time to reschedule himself to attend this summit. And please, for this effort, give him a great round of applause to Yang Mohamad, Sivanesan Achalingam, Perak State EXCO member for Health, Human Resources and Indian Community Affairs.
Yang berbahagia, Dr. Maisarah Ahmad, the Chief Executive Officer of Institut Darul Ridzuan, and also who is present in this summit representing Yang Ahmad Berhormat, Menteri Besar Perak. The respectful, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. And I thank the Joint Organizing Committee for having invited me to deliver a speech at this important summit. I was told this was the first summit of this kind, and I believe it will continue. As what one of the speakers said, at least every alternate years. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying that I am honored to have this opportunity to speak about developing human capital to promote economic growth and create more inclusive societies in the state which we love. Human capital is the knowledge, skills, and health accumulated by people over their lifetime that enable them to realize their potential as productive members of the society. When we talk about investing in human capital, we mean investing in people through healthcare, quality education, and the most important thing is the skills. Investment in human capital is critical to the future of this region. Only with quality investment in people can we deliver real outcomes and ensure that every citizen has the opportunity to earn a fair income, live a healthy life, and contribute to the society and the growth of the state. Unemployment remains one of the most significant challenges facing the Perak state in Malaysia. Labour market opportunities are wholly inadequate for youth, minorities, and other vulnerable members of the population. As such, young, educated people are forced to migrate in search of work to other neighbouring states. Perak has produced highly trained manpower in various fields, but unfortunately, many have chosen to serve outside of their hometown due to the lesser career prospect and jobs that match their interests, expertise, and salary expectation. However, this must not deter us from being hopeful and optimistic for the future, especially to create more jobs opportunity in Perak through current industries and new investment projects. Before we move on to other areas, please allow me to briefly mention to you some of the more important stuffs to share about Perak positioning in human capital and industry. Perak currently has 1.3 million workforce, with a growth of 5.3% compared to the recorded workforce data in 2013. Educational institution brings up approximately 330,000 Perak graduates every year. 25% of these graduates will pursue into further studies, and the other 75% will go to job market. In the year 2020, Socio-Economics Report of Department of Statistics, Malaysia, the top 3 industry sectors in Perak are service industry, manufacturing, and agriculture. Service industry covers 63.8%, of the socio-economic activities, whereas 16.7% are the manufacturing and the remaining 11.8% are in the agricultural sector. The majority of the workforce in Perak mainly involved in service sector, that is 13.6% of the workforce in this sector, categorizes in management and professional level, while 48.5% are skilled workers. And the remaining 37.9% are semi-skilled workers. This shows that more high-paying job opportunities need to be created for skill and professional categories in line with population growth towards 2030. This also means that more advanced courses and higher education opportunities need to be provided, especially as state governments migrate towards high-tech and digital-based organization. With this, ladies and gentlemen, the Perak state government explores approaches to enhance the capacity and capabilities of the workforce needed to drive the state's social, economic development and improve the well-being of its people. The approach includes development programs and focus on improving skills, reskilling, professional training, vocational training, and other targeted to different focus groups of each population in the state. The Perak Sejahtera Development Plan 2030 is launched by Perak state government to stir the government machinery in the state development for the next 10 years in an effort to drive sustainable, inclusive, and dynamic socio-economic development. This is where the development plan comes in. With it, the state government will be prioritizing initiatives to tighten the development gaps between districts of Perak by provisions of infrastructures, amenities, and job opportunities to generate and spur local economics. Guided by mission, the plan outlined 5 strategic thrusts, namely balance of physical and socio-economic development, smart collaboration, sustainable use of resources and nature, efficient and caring service delivery system, as well as quality and high-value expertise that will align with 5 common values such as honesty, wisdom, caringness, togetherness, and firmness. Under this development plan, Perak state government will bring in certain initiatives to attract young talent to return to the state, beside renewing the existing work ecosystem to meet the need of skilled, high-value manpower by introducing Perak as a corridor TVET Malaysia. The state government is looking into training up 20,000 high-skilled workforce by the year 2030 through TVET corridor. The TVET corridor plan is important agenda to streamline with midst of opening new industrial park, which garnered a total investment of ringgit Malaysia 180 billion that will be opening up to 449,000 employment opportunities spread over in the districts of Perak. In Manjong district, there will be a total ringgit Malaysia 72 billion investment in Lumut Maritime Industry City, which creates 51,000 job opportunities in 25 years' time. And Lenggong Agro Valley, which spreads over a land size of 1,100 hectares that required skilled manpower in agricultural sector. Automotive High Technology Valley in Mualim also will bring approximately ringgit Malaysia 32 billion ringgit investment with approximately 370,000 vacancies for skilled workforce in the automotive industry. Projects in Kinta district like Silver Valley Technology Park and Ipoh Raya Integrated Park. The Ipoh Raya Integrated Park with land size of 832 acres is set to be built in 6 phases and will encompass various key development areas such as an agro-based industrial hub, a logistic hub, management park 1, 2, and 3, accommodation facilities, and technical and vocational education and training facilities. Phase 1 of the project, which involves construction and logistic hub, is projected to be completed in 2028 i.e. in 5 years' time, where the industries there will be opening for 15,000 employment opportunities. On the other hand, Silver Valley will be creating 13,000 job vacancies with a total of 4 billion ringgit Malaysia investment. The Perak state government initiated a renewable energy with the estimated of ringgit Malaysia 400 million investment to the development of hydroelectric power. Hydro 2, which will begin operation in 2027, creating more than 400 job opportunities in the relevant industry and expertise. Hydro 2 will be the largest energy source in Malaysia by the year 2040. The project sites cover rivers in 6 districts of Perak, i.e. Ulu Perak, Larut Matang and Selama, Ilai Perak, Kuala Kangsar, Batang Padang, and the district of Mualim. Building a high-skilled workforce is imperative for meeting the high-income aspiration of Perak government. Improvements in the quality of education and training as well as the responsiveness to industry demand are essential for shaping the state human capital requirement. In this context, transforming TVET is one of the game changers to meet the demand of the industry. The TVET challenges embraces knowledge and skill gaps of graduates and workforce, fragmentations in TVET delivery system leading to variation in standards, insufficient collaboration between industry players and TVET providers, and the perceived unattractiveness of the TVET pathway and the career leader. In related development, the state government would strive to strengthen the eco-tourism related to skill and manpower need so as to ensure that the people of Perak can secure jobs and improve their socio-economic status without having to migrate. And I believe you all would agree with me that Perak is one of the states which has got a good workforce, disciplined workforce, and industrial harmony. As a practicing industrial relation lawyer in this country, I believe, and I've always stated that industrial harmony is the most important formula for investors. And we do have unions in this country, but only you must understand that 7% of the total workforce are unionized in this country. We still have 93% who are not in the union or not unionized either. And I've spoken about this to Yang Ahmad Menteri Besar, that perhaps in future, those investors who are investing in Perak should undertake to join force with the state government to allow the formation of unions in the respective companies so that the industrial harmony can be maintained. Like what we read today, the doctors are going on strikes. Doctors can't go on strike because they are not members of the unions. And you have to fall under the Industrial Relations Act or Trade Union Act. You are not a registered body under that either. So if you go on strike, then you will be subject to disciplinary action. So the issue of rumors in the newspaper, doctors are going to go on strike, there's going to be a lockout. So that will not happen in this country. But at the same time, we cannot just ignore the demands of the doctors. And the government is definitely looking at those. So as far as industrial harmony is concerned, investors can be rest assured there is industrial harmony, absolute industrial harmony in Perak. Because if you ask me when was the last strike ever organized in Perak, it was in the 1970s at the United Plantation. And last, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, President of KSI Strategic Institute of Asia Pacific, for having me this morning. Special thanks also to Malaysian International Chambers of Commerce, Perak, and Perak Academy for organizing this summit here in Perak. I hope the Perak Makmur summit will be fruitful to everyone here today to gain knowledge from sharing of the ideas and experience from the panels to ensure the improvement of economic and social economic for the benefit of the industries and Perak at large. Thank you very much.
A big thanks to Yang Mohamad, Tuan Sivanesan, Achalingam for your keynote, for your special address talking about the importance of human capital development and highlighting the need of the top sectors in Perak and giving his thoughts on how to minimize migration out of Perak, spurring its economy, and also highlighting the need for good industrial harmony. Before we hear the opening keynote address this morning, we'd like to first invite Dr. Wei Chuan Beng, Senior Executive Director of KSI, to present YB Sivanesan with a memento for taking time off his busy schedule and being here with us for the Perak Makmur Summit. Thank you very much, Dr. Wei and YB Siva. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid YB Sivanesan has a very urgent matter, work-related matter to attend to, and is actually far behind time. Thus, he will be taking his leave. He has done us a very great deed by honoring us with his presence in this summit, and I'm sure all of us can understand his difficult position leaving early today. May I invite you to stand as Yang Mohamad Sivanesan makes his departure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, can we give YB a round of applause for taking time out to attend today? He was able to reschedule at the last minute, and he's given us a great deed, and we're very thankful for YB Sivanesan for being here with us. Right, our thanks to YB once again, and we'll be now continuing with the proceedings of this morning. Next, we would like to invite Yang Berusaha, Dr. Maisarah Ahmad, Chief Executive Officer of Institut Darul Ridzuan, who's attending on behalf of Yang Ahmad Mohamad, Dato Saarani bin Mohamad, Menteri Besar of Perak Darul Ridzuan, who will be delivering the opening keynote address of the Perak Makmur Summit. Please give her a warm round of applause.
Assalamualaikum. Very good morning. So I'm here on behalf of Dato Sri Yang Mohamad, Dato Sri Saarani, the Chief Minister of Perak. He conveys his regards to everyone and thanks the organizing committee for having this event in Perak, because right now, I think for almost 3 years, we have yet to have event as such, and this is high time for us to have this. So while I take you through Dato Sri Saarani's keynote address, maybe you could visualize him standing in front, because we are almost the same height, but different gender, yeah? As Napoleon said, a person is measured from his shoulder up, not from his toes up. Okay, all right. So here goes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Yang berusaha Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific. Okay. Yang berusaha Mr. Jean-François, Chairperson Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Perak. Yang berusaha Dr. Adib, Dr. Adib Vincent Tung. Yang berusaha EXCO members of MICCI Perak, yang berusaha governors of the Perak Academy, yang berhormat Tan Sri Dato, distinguished speakers and delegates, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to praise Allah, the Almighty, the most gracious and the most merciful, for His blessings and for granting us this opportunity to be here today at Perak Makmur Summit. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude and sincere appreciation to KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, the Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry Perak, as well as the Perak Academy for their warm reception, hospitality, and hard work and dedication for making this event possible. Bringing in together the minds of leaders from both the private and public sector to share thoughts and ideas, discuss key points, as well as shared interests and concerns, generate feedback and coordinated strategies, and outline solutions for challenges we face are critical to the success and advancement of this glorious state. As we all know and have witnessed, how COVID-19 pandemic has brought significant changes to the global economic and social landscape. Well, Perak is no exception. We face our own set of challenges of economic uncertainties, with many industry sectors interrupted, particularly tourism and hospitality industries, which experience significant losses due to travel restrictions and reduced demand. Besides significant impact to our economy, the pandemic also impacted our healthcare system, and we had to grapple with political, social, and lifestyle challenges as well. The pandemic was an unprecedented challenge, which leaves an impact on existing structural weaknesses. But it also taught us the need to always be prepared to face all possibilities, the need to be forward-looking, agile, and adaptable. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that many of our speakers today earlier mentioned about Perak Sejahtera 2030. So Perak Sejahtera 2030 is a holistic approach that was designed for Perak to recover, reset, and become more resilient, along the lines with the tagline of this conference, which is Unlocking Prosperity for Perak. Well said, well put, Tan Sri. And develop on three main principles, the document, namely inclusive, realistic, and achievable. Perak Sejahtera 2030 aims to drive sustainable, inclusive, and dynamic socioeconomic development according to the advantages and potential of the state in order to support the development of traditional industries, digital economy, food security, tourism, and emerging industries to further contribute to state's GDP growth and the well-being of the people, most definitely. This plan utilizes all resources and uses the current strategic network available while exploring new opportunities to ensure that development can be realized for the well-being of the people. Perak Sejahtera 2030 also uses a more proactive approach based on the concept of being one with the people to build the future of a state that prioritizes the well-being of her people and environment in line with the donut economics model. The donut economics model is a sustainable development framework that emphasizes the balance of nature, social, economic, and political well-being. Furthermore, the donut economic model is used as a benchmark so as not to exceed planetary boundaries, namely climate change, ocean acidification, chemical pollution, nitrogen and phosphorus loading, freshwater withdrawals, land conversion, biodiversity loss, air pollution, and ozone layer depletion. Well, the beauty of the donut economics model is that it creates a balance between nature and social, economic and political well-being so that all these areas can thrive together in a sustainable manner. We studied various megatrends and the VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity of things, scenarios at the global level before we came up with a vision. A vision, a roadmap that will enable us to ride the waves of uncertainties that are so prevalent in this day and age. After all, the only constant is change. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. One more. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your concern. It's just that my voice, it tends to croak sometimes. All right. So, a vision, as I was saying, a vision, a roadmap that will enable us to ride the waves of uncertainties that are so prevalent in this day and age. After all, the only constant is change. Perak Sejahtera, with its 18 flagship programs, will equip Perak for change. When developing the 18 flagship programs, there were many factors that we took into account, namely health and public safety, housing, community foundations, education, environment and green technology practices, infrastructure, cultural arts and heritage, youth, women, families, elderly, people with disabilities, residents, major industries, entrepreneurship, human resources and work environment, domestic and foreign investment, wealth distribution, food security, income groups and poverty, government governance, national unity and leadership. These are, of course, in line with the UN SDG goals, which is a global agenda for sustainable development aimed at ensuring that economic, social, and environmental sustainability are achieved simultaneously. These flagships seek to take bold transformative steps which are urgently needed to shift Perak onto a sustainable and resilient path and at the same time balance the three dimensions in sustainable development, nature and social, economic and political well-being. The 18 flagship programs under the plan Perak Sejahtera are introduced as a catalyst to achieve Perak Sejahtera 2030 agenda. It is designed to add value to the state's socio-economic development and become a direction for priority projects heading towards 2030. These flagship programs are also dynamic in that monitoring and improvement will be implemented from time to time according to needs and suitability. High-impact strategic planning was put into developing these flagship programs to ensure effectiveness in bringing about positive transformation. Flagship Program 9, and Dato Reza is with us today. Flagship Program 9, investor-friendly program, right? So PKNP is one of the custodian actually for this flagship. As an example, aims to strengthen efforts to make Perak an investor-friendly state destination. Our goal is to reduce bureaucracy to attract more investment, and as such, we are developing an ecosystem that suits the needs of investors. Some of the initiatives include build to suit for client requirements, that's PKNP, Dato Reza, to meet the needs of our investors, establishing a state importance project management task force, developing programs to empower state government subsidiaries as the facilitator to government and private collaborations, as well as empowering governance effectiveness of state government subsidiaries. We, ladies and gentlemen, with our comprehensive planning, commitment, and dedication, sophisticated infrastructure, strategic location, diversified and experienced economic base, high access to capital, and strong emphasis on talent development, we are sending positive signals to local and foreign investors. We also have Invest Perak. I did recall we have one representative from Invest Perak with us today in the audience. Yeah, Invest Perak works closely with other related government departments and agencies, business chambers and industrial associations to ensure that the landscape is ideal and industries in Perak can continue to grow and flourish. Perbadanan Kemajuan Negeri Perak, PKNP, also plays a vital role in spearheading the economic development and socio-economic growth in Perak. Right, Dato Reza? Yes, we are all for it. Aligned with state and national policies, PKNP's primary goal is to spur continuous growth for the state so as to transform the economic landscape and elevate the living standards of the people through the attainment of high-performance cultures while capitalizing on the state's natural resources. With this, the state continues to open its doors for investments, and investors can leverage the well-developed and suitable economic ecosystem with mature public-private partnerships that supports those looking to expand or establish their businesses in Perak. I would like to reaffirm that Perak continues to be an investor-friendly with pro-business and pragmatic policies that support the investment climate in the state. Furthermore, I am optimistic that by collectively drawing from invaluable experiences of the public and private sectors, we will be able to pave the path for a resilient and sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the core principles of Perak Sejahtera 2030 is in line with the concept of Malaysia Madani, which was recently introduced by our Prime Minister, Ahmad Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim. Similar to the guiding principles of Perak Sejahtera 2030, the Malaysia Madani concept is a collective, holistic guide to steer the nation towards sustainability, courtesy, respect, innovation, well-being and trust, and its framework is interconnected and integrated, enforcing and enhancing each other. It is for Malaysia to stand proud on the global stage. Likewise, we Perakians take pride and are ready to be in the global arena with Perak Sejahtera 2030 as the catalyst of this crusade. Perak Sejahtera 2030 requires the concerted effort of all stakeholders for it to be implemented successfully towards a prosperous state for the well-being of the people. I believe that Perak Makmur Summit is an excellent platform for peers to advance and share ideas on building. It's an excellent platform, for peers to advance and share ideas on building a better understanding of this plan Therefore, I invite each and every one of you, from industry players, government bodies, NGOs, to the community, to strengthen your knowledge of all the agendas and goals outlined in this plan. The people of Perak are the main stakeholders, and it requires the full participation of all stakeholders for Perak Sejahtera 2030 to be a success. The success of Perak Sejahtera 2030 is also dependent on a conducive administrative environment and ecosystem to allow it to grow and evolve, at least until the year 2030, which is the timeline which we have set to make every goal and aspiration within it a reality. Additionally, political stability and harmony within the government's ecosystem is critical in determining that the plans outlined can be realized as best as possible. With this, I call for each of us to set aside all differences and build shared values to succeed in each mission, agenda, and target that we have worked on in this plan. Ladies and gentlemen, before concluding my keynote address, I would like to express my gratitude once again to KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, the Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Perak, and the Perak Academy, who have successfully collaborated to organize and make this summit a success. With that, thank you so much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maisarah Ahmad, for presenting the Menteri Besar's keynote address.